What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Nicola Espresso, and welcome back to another video here today on the channel. Today, this one's a little bit different, and we're going to be changing it up just a bit. We don't have news, we don't have a live gameplay, but rather something that I've been wanting to do now for a while, and this is actually a top 5, or rather like a 5 things, because I don't think there's going to be necessarily any top order to it, but this one, though, is going to be focused not necessarily on the game that we know right now, but rather the game that was out previously here before the game even launched. So we're talking pre-alpha, alpha, as well as the beta phases of Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Now, we're gonna be talking about 5 things that did not make it into Black Ops 3's full launch. So if you guys do like this and want to see more stuff like it, leave a like down below if you do enjoy the video. But let's just jump right into it here. Starting us off with the first one, we're actually gonna be talking about the weapon icons here, or rather, the weapon pickup icons in Black Ops 3. Back in the alpha phase, I want to say it is. I swore it was in the beta phase too, but I could not for the life of me find any of it in my beta gameplay that I still have saved up on my computer. What it was, though, was whenever you went to go pick up a weapon, instead of it just being text overlaid on your HUD, it actually showed the weapon icon as well. So if you went to pick up the CUDA, it would actually have the semi-3D model of the CUDA right underneath the press X or press square to pick up CUDA. It would be right there in a game so that you could see what it looked like. And honestly, I think this was a very cool feature, one that I kind of wish would have stayed in the game, but nonetheless, it's not something that really takes away from any gameplay experience. It was just something cool and aesthetic. Now, the next thing that we're going to be talking about here today is actually the lobby loading screens here. Take a look at the screenshot up on screen now here. This is actually what the loading screen looked like back in the beta. As you can see, it's a very dumbed down version of it, but what you also may notice is that all of these specialists are really just stock images of each specialist. There is no interchangeable one here due to the usage of either the ability or the weapon like we see in today's games, but rather it was something just very bare and minimum. Granted, that is something that is related to it being a beta of a game, but it is something very dumbed down and simpler nonetheless. I also think that it didn't really look as bright and vibrant as well, which is something that was, looking back on it, very interesting to see and kind of weird to actually see that back then I was like, damn, this is really nice. What you also may notice is that the actual game mode icon is listed here as well. That's something that was not portrayed or carried over into the full game of Black Ops 3, and I think it's actually very cool. It doesn't really take away from it, but once again, it's just interesting here to see nonetheless. Now, another thing that I thought was very cool, and honestly I like better a little bit here than what we see now, is actually in-game here with this one. That being the icons indicating that a player captured something or a streak is inbound here as well. It's not as vibrant and doesn't display the very colorful player cards that we see now, but rather it does have the character image for what specialist they're using, as well as their actual rank, and then to top it off, it has the banner that showcases what's inbound or if they captured something. So that, I think, is very cool. It adds a little bit more of a personal flair than I think just the calling cards do here within the game itself. That's something that, once again, is aesthetic and doesn't really change up anything, but it is very cool nonetheless, I believe. Now, the next thing I want to touch on here at number 4 is going to be 2 weapons that actually got completely rebranded for the launch of Call of Duty Black Ops 3. For those that did not know, the KN-44 actually was not called the KN-44, and same with the LCAR-9. The KN-44 was actually in the beta as well as in the alpha, known as the ARC-7, and this one actually was one of those things that when the game first came out, I just still assumed it was the ARC-7, and I don't think I really paid attention to it, and I actually think I made a video talking about the ARC-7 in which people were like, what's the ARC-7? That's not in Black Ops 3, and then it hit me that it got changed, as well as the LCAR-9 was previously known as the Spider in the alpha as well as the beta. So those two, I think, both were pretty cool to see here. The Spider does sound a lot cooler than the LCAR-9. The technical and literal term for the LCAR-9, as it seems like it is, isn't necessarily too appealing. The Spider definitely sounds a lot cooler, and the ARC-7, I think, still catches me off guard. I still, at some points in times, will remember that and want to say it as the KN-44, but nonetheless, those are 2 weapons that got completely rebranded for Black Ops 3's official launch. Now, finally, the last thing and the 5th thing here that I want to touch on with you guys is actually specific to the map evac. For those that don't know, there actually were not the same lines of sight and pathways here from the alpha to the beta. So for those that did not play the alpha, which is a lot of people, including myself, but potentially played the beta, you may not even know about this, that this is something that has just been there from the very start. But there were a few changes, including some that led directly from the outside from right above where the B flag is, as well as the main 2 windows that you can jump through. Those were actually a lot more open than what they are right right now. You had the entire panes of glass windows that were available to jump through, but now there's really only one giant section of that, and it wasn't as big here in the final game. And the third and final piece here was that after jumping through those windows, if you go up and directly to your left, there's that staircase that leads up to the left side of the map. That actually was closed off and wasn't made available to go through. So it's something very interesting here, and really might have affected how the game is played on evac, but nonetheless, it is very cool to see here. And that's where we're gonna wrap it up, actually. 5 things that did not make it into the final game here of Black Ops 3. Love to hear your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Would you like to have any of these things back in place of what we see now? Or do you like the game how it is perfectly fine just right now? Love to hear your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Leave a like down below if you did enjoy this kind of stuff. Top 5s are honestly some of my favorite things to do, but I would love to know if you guys like them as much as I do. But nonetheless, leave a like down below if you enjoyed. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We're on the road to 40,000 subscribers, so every little bit does help and is of course greatly appreciated. But mine has been a cool espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.